Hi, I hope it is working. As I was saying, I'm just starting the live streams right now. The good thing about live stream and starting is that when you are messing up something, nobody cares because nobody is watching you. This is me just thinking out loud. I think mostly for myself. So if you are seeing this, feel welcome. I already was telling in the promo that is perhaps not the best point to start actually a live stream. Of course, there's this big project coming up, traveling to Asia, working as a ghostwriter. It's all exciting and so on. But nevertheless, there are many things that are right now going inside of me. And this is most likely what is interesting for you, to have this insight that even when you are doing great project, writing books and so on, it sounds really great, but nevertheless, there's always a human struggling behind this. And of course, I want to be professional and seems to be professional, but I also think it is important also to provide the people with the insight that this is always a challenge, and writing books is a challenge, especially this book with this person that I'm writing this book for is very important to me. So there's also a human side in all of this, and this human side is struggling right now. So I was really hoping for my first live stream. Actually, I was planning to go to Paris because I like this idea that always my books should start somewhere in Paris. You know, we are sitting somewhere in a cafe, writing something, and then you are telling people, okay, this is becoming a project and great things will start. I think this part of me is this show-off part that actually wanted to start this live stream that you are watching in Paris is the side that was reading a lot about Hemingway. I don't know, this life as an adventure and being bold out there, this was always impressing me so much, and I wanted always to feel these big shoes of these big writers. But nevertheless, life is happening, and then you are figuring things out, and you are becoming very aware that actually contributing culture in writing or in art, it's not all about you and this big personality. And this is actually something that is really making me happy about this project, because I have the possibility to contribute actually something that is so much bigger than me, and this is really making me so much happy, but on the other side it's overwhelming me. So this is why I'm using this first live stream also to draw a little, because when this live stream should have started in Paris, I was planning to go to the Louvre and doing what is actually really calming and inspiring me. And this is drawing of this classical statues. I like them very much, and this is actually a part of me that is always a great starting point. I have spent so much time working in the Louvre in Paris, so this building, this culture become part of me, and it's really grounding me. And I think this is something that I can share with you. I don't know how it is with you and what is grounding you, but to find a place. The best thing is when you have this place inside you that is grounding you, but nevertheless finding this place somewhere outside of you where you are a little bit grounded, and you are then can go beyond your ego. Because right now I'm streaming and I'm very aware that someone perhaps is watching me, and then it's becoming all about me, and this is making it really difficult to produce actually something artistic. So going back to such roots like art, culture and civilization, it's so much easy for me in Paris. That's why I wanted actually started there, but it didn't work out. I'm depending on friends to stay actually there, and right now it is like it is. But nevertheless, I can provide myself with a little bit of Paris here in my own gallery, and I have these small statues, and just drawing them is giving me so much more calm. So perhaps if this live stream is a little bit boring for you, go ahead, you can perhaps start to draw with me this statue. I don't know if you already are experienced with classical academical art, but you can just doodle along. So it can be a good starting point. But as I was saying, starting these big projects on writing, going for such a long time to Asia, again, this is also something that is challenging. Perhaps later on I will give the background, why especially this is a challenge, because it's also connected with a lot of history. Nevertheless, it is a little bit overwhelming, and when you are a writer and this overwhelming feeling comes over you, you have to cope, because your emotions are so important to your work. And when I was now aware for, I don't know, for 3 or 4 days, that actually my emotions are starting really work out against me. I was already planning out this trip, this project and everything. When you are going especially to this part of Asia, you have to really prepare. And also this opportunity of the projects is making it very important that you are really doing your homework as a writer. I have the opportunity to work together on a book with someone that I really care for, and I think this person is also contributing a lot to our well-being as human beings, and to be able to provide such a person with such an important foundation, like putting his wisdom into a book. It's an amazing opportunity. And this is why actually you are getting then overwhelmed and your emotions are starting to sabotage this project, and you have to really cope with this. And this is what I was actually doing for the last few days. Actually the fighting against me and how to cope, how to make it happen. I'm really professional in this. I have done this a lot before, but nevertheless, this is now something completely special, and I want to really give you the opportunity to have an insight. And what was really strange when I was experiencing this, that part of me didn't want to do this. There's always a part of us that is, perhaps you know this, when there's something that you really want to achieve, and then success comes, you have the opportunity, but a part of us wants to shut it down, wants to go back perhaps to apathy. Then you are starting to watch YouTube videos and endless preparing yourself with something, and you want to make it perfect. And this apathy is then disconnecting you from such opportunities and such projects that are all about being authentic. We want to build up another layer of us into the project, so we are not fighting so much with the consequences or with the possibility of even failing. I don't know if you can even connect with this. Perhaps you are struggling with completely different challenges, but nevertheless, many artists, many creatives that I'm knowing, we are getting so fast excited about things, but we are forgetting that it's not a sprint just for a short times, but most of our work is a marathon. Like me right now drawing this statue, this is, of course, I can work really fast and make it just a doodle, but nevertheless, when you want to produce something that is outstanding, you have to go through a longer process. And this longer process is actually something that our emotions and our ego is not coping so well. And this can turn in many different ways than with your emotions. Perhaps you are already knowing you are getting frustrated or even angry, and you are forgetting your vision and your connection. Actually, today in the morning I had to sit down and write out what is my why. Where do I actually connect with this project? Why do I want to do this? This is something that I can actually always emphasize, to think it through, not just start with your emotions, going right into the project, because these emotions will fail you after a while. And when it's a marathon, a longer phase, then you are starting to struggling. So in the beginning, when you are very enthusiastic, go into this process of writing down the why, really the deep part of you that is connecting with this project. I was doing a kind of ikigai system, so I was writing down everything that I'm loving about this emotional part. Then I was going what I'm actually already have mastered and what I can actually provide as expertise in this project. And the third part was actually what I am contributing, how I am thinking that this project is making actually this the world a better place. Because I think, nevertheless, I know we are living in strange times, there's a human need in us to contribute to the well-being of others, to the world, and it's so much fulfilling, and it's something that really will give you the drive for it. And then I figured out from these three different parts actually that what is my why I'm wanting to do this is very simple. It's not the big stuff and the significance and how it is an important project, but it's allowing me to stay in the flow. Every part of this project, except some who are struggling right now, are allowing me to really stay in the flow and being authentic. And what I can contribute from myself, because I'm working with, as a ghostwriter, or working with someone else, and because I'm really deeply loving this person, it is allowing me to be really to provide this mastery of being authentic, flexible, and in this way to develop this project that is really tailored to this person. So it's not a project about me and how I want to express myself. I'm more staying in the flow state. It's actually something where I am absolutely becoming the mind of another person. And this is expertise of mine that I'm really loving. It's a kind of becoming this person then. This is what I'm really liking about this ghostwriting part. And what the third part of this vision, what you can contribute, is actually what will come out of this, because this person that I will reveal in later live streams is so magnificent. I think this person is actually making the world much better, because this person is working in a field where there is a lot of different voices providing different values, but this spiritual field can make this world so much better, but we have through years perverted it, or we have made something European out of this. And I think this person is so much more to the real source. This person is living in this wonderful nature in Asia, at this wonderful ocean. When you stick with this live stream, you will visit with me these places, and it's such a magnificent tropical space, and it's so beautiful, and I think from this there will come a lot of contribution. I think this is an opportunity to bring out later on as a book. Perhaps there will be actually an online course that I will also design, but I think it is addressing something that is really deep in us and that is good, and this is something natural, authentic, and this is giving me so much hope. So the vision for this project is actually, because it is about working with this person, it is about losing myself, getting rid of this ego, of these emotions, which I'm struggling a little bit right now, and to really promote a different voice, this experience. It is many places in Asia, Rishikesh, also in Thailand, but especially this place that I'm visiting right now, was the experience of the ego death. That this part, this loud voice that we are having in our mind is dying then, and you are becoming something that is just in the flow. And being in this flow and creating in this flow is really an outstanding experience that I'm really looking forward. It feels like a little bit, perhaps you know this, have you ever experienced a sunset that was so beautiful that you are unaware of yourself, you are unaware of your problems, your thinking, your past, your present and your future? You are just right there and you are just enjoying yourself. And this project has this potential. So this is what is motivating me, and the more I'm not understanding why this part of me is sabotaging myself, why I have to ground myself, like right now drawing the statue and even distract myself. Today I was riding my bike. It was, again, I don't know, 50 kilometers or so, just to get out of my head. So perhaps when you have your own creative projects, you are seeing, no matter how professional you are, you can get stuck in yourself and in your ego, and then you are becoming so frustrated, then you are getting into this apathic state, which makes me almost today not even make this live stream. But I think it is really important that to show this part of yourself that is not working in a way that you want to see, to show it to other people, because this apathy, actually, I think it is part of us that just don't want to deal with these emotions. You know, when you have something like right now, I have these great projects, but then I'm getting overwhelmed, and part of us want to dissociate from all these overwhelming feelings, and then you are starting to suppress these emotions. This is actually the part where I have to really watch myself, because then you want to distract you so much that you are losing your vision. And this can be, for someone that is creative, that is a writer, artist, really dangerous, because apathy is a process of dissociation. It's actually what it wants to keep you safe in a way. So that's I'm not complaining about this, that I'm overloading myself so much with emotions, with this ego, that it's just becoming too much, and then this apathy kicks in, and then you are getting away from all of this. and I'm really liking it, that it's apathy. I'm hating it, that it's happening, because the other possibility is actually depression. Of course, depression can have many different backgrounds, but depression is also, in a way, there are studies about this, also self-preservation. When things are so bad that you are not seeing any possibility, you are just shutting down, because there is no hope, you cannot do anything about it, there is no control. So this is actually a safety mechanism. And I'm understanding that right now this apathy, that's really strange, because it's a great project, is also something that is just a signal. And you also, I think, I don't know how you cope with this, I think it's very important to understand the difference between signal and the noise. The signal is, it is too much, you are bringing too much emotion, ego and so on into this, you are making it all about you. And the noise is then all the challenges that you are having, like distraction, perhaps this unhealthy coping mechanism that you are having, but nevertheless it's all about hearing the signal behind all this. I think it's very important to not to lose the connections with your emotions, not to overload yourself as a creative with emotions so much that you are getting to the stage of apathy, distractions, or even depressions, because emotions are an important compass in our life. It's like, okay, you are sailing this boat, you are sailing through the life, and you have different instruments. You have your map, this is mostly our thinking, cognitive things, but emotions are something that is really pointing you in the right way, because emotions are so much closer with our intuitions that are so important to make projects and creative projects actually a success. So nevertheless, even in points like this, when you just want to shut down, I was so close not to even make this live stream for you, because I just had enough. Today I will just spend the evening as usual with some friends, distract myself, watch some movie, whatever, just not to cope with all these emotions. That's why I was thinking actually to show you this insight here, it's making it necessary to stay emotionally connected, because I have to tell all of this to you, so I have also to cope with this emotion, so I cannot suppress them, because once you are losing these connections to your emotions, you are losing actually your intuitions, and then it's all about your mind. And then when we are starting to work just with our mind, it will not work out, because you are getting lost in all the plans, all this preparation, and it's just becoming complex, and then it will actually break together, because our brain, our thinking, this logic part is so bad with bringing it all together, like our needs. This is also so important, that when we are losing this connection to our emotions, we are suppressing their emotions, and then we are also suppressing our needs. And then to go through this whole marathon of such a project, especially writing, it is making it nearly impossible. When you are out of your authentic self and you are just in this headspace, you are lost. You can lie to yourself for perhaps some month or for some weeks, and you can plan it out. I remember one time, it is so funny, I had this really wonderful bungalow in Thailand on the beach, really with the palm and my dogs, And this bungalow outside was really wonderful, everything was looking cool. My surfboard was out there, my dogs, great. But inside I mapped every part of the project as a to-do list, and then my whole bungalow, the inside of my bungalow, was full of these papers with to-do list, and it was a nightmare to sleep in there. I was actually in the end not sleeping and was rushing towards a burnout. Our brain is a wonderful thing, and being logical and planning out is so great, but I think it is actually not working out for a long marathon, because you are upholding a facade in a way. Perhaps you are experiencing some of the things I am talking about to yourself. You're trying to plan it, and you are trying to figure it all out, and there is endless to-do list. And especially when everything that is in art, business connected, there are people out there that want to have an insight how the logical parts are working, and then you are starting to believing actually that this business part of art, of writing, is the main thing, because you can prove something to other people, but in this way it is not working, or what is working is actually not providing any good outcome. And yeah, it's then the point when you are so much in the apathy, that you are disconnected with your emotions, with your true self, with this authentic part of you that is taking care about your needs, that you are starting to feel powerless, and you are losing hope. And I don't know, perhaps you have already experienced this. You are doing something creative, and as long as you are in the flow, and as long as you are pushing yourself, it is working. But after a while, you have to just push yourself, and then you are becoming powerless and hopeless. And perhaps when you have started to feel this way actually. And this is then so crazy, because when I would not do this live stream today and stick with my emotions, talk about them with you, give you this insight, but just to distract myself, and then I would become powerless, something really crazy would happen. Then actually your brain, your logical thinking, would also turn against you. So you are first losing your emotions, and then this logic part is turning to your inner critic, and then it's starting to devour yourself. You are not doing good enough, and then all these crazy things that we are telling ourselves. So at this point, this is actually the point of no return for most artists. I'm also working as a psychology counselor for artists, helping them get unblocked and so on. And this point where actually the inner critic starts to devour yourself, this is not the point where the things are starting to go wrong, but before this, many things has started already to go wrong, as I was telling you before, with this emotional disconnection. So when you are at this point, the inner critic, that be aware that you are already far deep into the dark valley, and this is actually what I'm hoping will not come right now, because I'm trying to stick with my feelings. This is not feeling very good. Okay, I have to distract myself a little bit, writing, doing a lot of sport, drawing right now, getting lost in the process of academical art. But actually I know this inner critic, when this is coming up, whoa, you have to be really careful about this monster, because then you have like in the Second War, what the Germans have done, a two-front battle. So you have this outer battle, these challenges of your projects, what you want to achieve as an artist, but you have also the inner battle to fight your inner critic, and this is a vicious monster. And the good thing, we have all this monster in us, this inner critic, and you should be really aware about this. This inner critic should never become your own voice. I'm actually always trying to do an exercise when this inner voice is coming, you're not doing good enough, and they're pushing yourself. I'm always trying to imagine who is this telling me and who is listening. Because when you are starting to identify with this person, with this inner critic, then it's becoming personally. It's becoming then very fast a feeling of not being good enough. Because as I was telling you in the first part, it's about detaching yourself from your emotions, and this is a void. And this void is actually the inner critic is pointing then that there is nothing. You are not good enough. You are not providing enough, and so on. He's pointing just the obvious, what previously went wrong, and this is something that he's using to his own advantage. So this is actually a good point to detach yourself from, to be aware that this inner critic is not me and it's not against me. This is something that is going on, and be very aware that this inner critic is just an echo of someone else in your past, especially in your childhood, that was making you feeling bad, ashamed of not being good enough, not providing enough. This is actually something I should do today, instead of getting lost in this classical drawing exercises, to draw this inner monster, to draw this inner critic, and to be aware of it. How does it behave? How is it talking? Is there something slithering about him? Is this something like a vicious snake that is just seeking a way into my mind? And by just drawing it or writing about it, you have such much more feeling of control over it, and this can be very helpful to get you out of a place where I am actually right now, because right now this small voice is already beginning a little bit, and I know that it's sabotaging me and it wants to push me back into this comfort zone, because really my life is carefree and it is a comfort zone, and this is making it also a little bit of a challenge. So if you are an artist that is struggling, be very aware when you are not struggling, the problem is remaining, because then your comfort zone is becoming also a cage. When you are struggling, poor artists like perhaps Van Gogh was, then you are in a cage, but also a comfort zone can also becoming a cage, and then you are all alone by yourself in this cage with this monster, with this inner critic, and this monster is creating a world on its own, because you can then not stand it. Some of the artists actually that I'm consulting are in such a place that they are getting lost into drugs, drinking. There's so much possibilities, and this monster is making this space, this cage that it is providing, so unbearable that you are just want to be somewhere else, no matter how much you are damaging yourself or your health, and especially your art or your projects. And this is something I really have to be careful about, because this project is a possibility to be part of something bigger, to contribute. We are really starting to live in a very dark place in the world, and to have the opportunity to bring some light into it, it's such a outstanding privilege, and I just don't want to allow this inner critic, this monster, to sabotage it. But there are also always possibilities to work with it. For example, as I was saying, behind me, Van Gogh, actually this painting behind me, this is the painting I have done that ended up on the book cover about Van Gogh, the alchemist. You can check it out on Amazon. Right now, the methods I'm talking about are also a little bit the methods out of this book, Van Gogh, the Alchemist, because I was studying him, and he's such an outstanding artist, and this alchemy, how right now, oh, I'm so happy that I'm remembering this alchemy, that you can actually turn this dark materials or your struggles or you are going through, and you can do this magical alchemy just to transform this bad and unworthy and dirty materials into gold. Because when you are looking at the Starry Night especially, he was going through such a difficult time there back then in South France, in Saint-Remy, and he was working in an asylum. He was not working, he was actually being kept in an asylum, and nevertheless, out of the struggle, out of this pain, he developed such outstanding artwork like the Starry Night. This is again and again so much breathtaking and so inspirational for me, because right now the struggles I'm going through, okay, for me right now, especially my ego, these are really struggles, but imagine what he was going through, and nevertheless he was able to transform all this in such a outstanding and great vision, this light that he provided for this world. And in times like this, especially this evening, I'm thinking about someone like Van Gogh, and I'm so admiring him because what he was going through, and he managed it, he did it. And sometimes all you need in such a dark hour, like I am right now when I'm struggling a little bit, to see someone that even was going through things that were much more worse, and he did it. And this can be so, this can bring so much value. It's really outstanding. This is transformation of pain into art. This is always something that was really fascinating me. Okay, artists that are doing great things because they are in a great place, happy birthday, good for you. But being in a bad place and nevertheless being able to produce then outstanding art, so outstanding. This is really alchemy. This is, everyone wants to have magic and outstanding things, and this is really how you can experience magic, how you can actually construct this philosopher's stone, to really take all this dirt, what is happening to you, this dark material, and being able to transform it into gold on the philosopher's stone. This is really magic that you can actually experience as a human being. There you go, you have behind me Van Gogh, the magician, and this potential of alchemy is how do you change challenges into creative expression. Perhaps if you like, write it somewhere down. This is magic. There you go. You want to have adventures, you have to really prove yourself, you have to want to experience all this, you want to be Harry Potter, there you go. Turn your challenges into creative expression. I think this is really outstanding. And art is really an outstanding point for this. And this artistic process can also always reconnect with yourself. As I was talking from the beginning about these challenges, and then you are becoming a little bit overwhelmed and you want to disconnect you from these bad feelings, you don't want to deal with this, and then this apathy is developing, and then you are losing yourself because you are suppressing not only your emotions but also your needs, and then this void is developing, then you are losing your self-worth, and then this inner critic, this monster, is coming and telling you, actually, look here, you are not worth it. All this is really a struggle, this is really a challenge, but there is always a way back. As you see, I was telling you before, right now, me drawing this classical statue in the academic style, so I don't just shutting down and getting lost in the art. This is actually also a good way to reconnect, because nevertheless you are doing something. You are not just only consuming like a, I don't know, like a movie or just talking with friends, but this is actually nevertheless creating, and then you are starting to reconnect, to engage with yourself, engage with art, and then you are reconnecting again step by step with yourself, but you are bypassing this inner critic. This is actually, I don't know if it's working for you, but do something that is avoiding this inner critic. It can be something like doodling, whatever it is, but never, it should create a safe space so the inner critic cannot grab you by your throat and start to telling you that what you are drawing is not good enough. It can be an escape place then for you, somewhere where you can start to reconnect with your emotions, allowing them, and then you are building up momentum, and then you are reconnecting perhaps again with this vision. Even if you reconnection is small in the beginning and is not directly connected with this big project, it is nevertheless a beginning. It is a spark, and then is one spark, another spark, and then a fire is starting slowly. Just talking with you actually is sparking me a little bit, and I'm beginning to reconnect again with the vision of providing value to others, not seeing myself in the middle of it, but all about being contributing. And yeah, this is always a beginning. So this can be something. I hope this video will actually find someone that is struggling like I'm struggling right now, and especially when you are afraid a little bit about success, and when things are building up very good and you are then starting to sabotage yourself. This is for many artists a really bad place, so perhaps this is already a little bit of a contribution. So I hope this insight is a little bit helpful to someone somewhere. If not, nevertheless, it helped me already by bringing all out, showing that I'm actually not perfect, that I'm also struggling, even if I had such possibility right now. And everyone I know, I'm in a great privilege to have this project, to go there to Asia, to work with this person, to be part of such an outstanding project, and I'm so much looking forward to it. And it would be great if I can stop myself sabotaging myself and see the bigger picture and what you can provide also for others in a way. So I didn't even finish my drawing. I hope you have been drawing all along the statue with me. If I was boring, then I was just talking freely, and you can perhaps draw a little bit. So perhaps this has worked out for you. I hope this was interesting, and I hope I will go through all the stages of the project with the live streams, talking out loud, thinking out loud, because normally this part of my work, especially ghostwriting, is something that is very much in the shadow. I know this sounds mysterious, so perhaps this is a bit disappointing that all the great things one is doing, like writing books and doing all this crazy stuff, there must be someone that is out saying, no, it's just a human like I am and you are, and this is all there is to it. So I hope this was a little bit entertaining. I'm promising this live streams will get a little bit better. I'm always trying to provide some insights. If you have any questions, if you're struggling yourself, just write to me, perhaps I can answer. And do not forget, if you can, like and subscribe to the channels, because I am so much right now in this stage of my life where I just want to provide value, helping others, and especially with the crazy times we are living out there, there must be some way to bring more light into this world. So if you can help me also spread this word and these insights, perhaps you are knowing already someone for whom this can be of any value. I know it's mostly rambling, I should script a lot more, but nevertheless it can be helpful to someone, so please like, subscribe and spread this video. Perhaps you can actually help someone. This would make me very happy that already in this stage where I'm struggling so much, I can provide value for someone. So have a nice time, have a nice evening, and I will try to stop this live stream. I don't know exactly where to put my fingers, but I think it's no. Okay. Let's give a high back, and whoa, I really don't know where to stop this. There's so many options, but none about stopping it. Boop. Okay.